I would like to begin with the fearless organization. I'd like to start with this very important question. Why should an organization invest in psychological safety, especially during uncertain times or when margins are tight? And what about companies that are already successful? Why should they care?
Well, let me put it this way. In uncertain times, the ones we're in, psychological safety is far more important than in relatively certain times, or when you have the ability to set a plan, request people follow that plan precisely, and you can monitor the degree to which they're following that plan precisely, you have less need of psychological safety. However, if you are to a certain degree dependent on innovation, on teamwork, good decision making in the face of uncertainty, ingenuity, problem solving, if you're dependent on any of those factors, then psychological safety is a major determinant of your ultimate performance, right? So you should care about psychological safety. You should invest in psychological safety, not because it's a nice to have, but because it's essential in an uncertain world. And there's a lot of research on this at this point. And I think one of my favorite studies is one that was done as what's called a meta-analysis, where a couple of researchers at Washington University in the United States looked at all of the published studies that had psychological safety in them, and looked at had a relationship between psychological safety and performance. And what they found was that relationship was always there, more psychological safety, better performance on average. But the relationship was steeper, stronger when there was uncertainty, knowledge intensive work, a kind of a need for problem solving, right? So anytime, if the people in your organization must work together to solve problems, to create new solutions in an ongoing way, then psychological safety is more important. Okay.